Okay, I just got a new kit in, and you all seem to like the first time that I did an unboxing. And by the way, when I'm doing these unboxings, it's not to be like, look at me, look what I got. This is supposed to be more so over anything inspirational to get your creative juices flowing or get you out of a bind, creatively speaking. If you have the kit, maybe it inspires you to build it. If you have something similar, maybe build that. If you've already built the kit, let me know. If you have a YouTube channel, tell me in the comments below. I'll go check it out. If you have an Instagram, I have an Instagram linked in the comments below. And then tag me on Instagram with a picture. If you happen to be on Facebook in one of the big Facebook group, modeling groups that is, post a picture, tag me on there, show me that you've built this kit. I'd like to see it. Or maybe this just inspires something completely different. Really, what I'm trying to do is just motivate you to build. So we're gonna check this kit out like I did the last one. This 65 Nova, I like the shoebox-y style cars. And I did get both. I got the stock and this Restomod version, but I thought it'd be a little bit more fun to check out the Restomod version. So we'll take a look at this. And I also want to say a special thanks to Frank over at Frank's Model Works and Jason over at KRD, that's Klein Race Car Designs. When you're done here, and if you think about it, go watch one of their videos or go leave them a comment. Let's go give this a look. Also want to give a shout out to Paul over at Left Coast Model Car Builds for sending me a thank you card for the Sunday morning model cars and coffee. I haven't been able to participate as of late just because it hasn't worked out, but I do enjoy watching everybody else's as of right now. I'll get back around to it and just wanted to say thanks again, Paul, for sending the card. Really enjoy what you started with the community. All right, let's get to the Nova. And like I said, anything new, I like to open up right away just to make sure that there's no issues. I'm going to do my best to try and not show glare. So as always, everything packed up nice and neat in these Moebius kits. I have not yet built a Moebius kit, so I'm looking forward to when I actually get to build one. I'm going to leave the chrome in the package, but for those that do not like to dechrome and use the kit chrome, looks pretty good. Everything's nice and crisp there. The air cleaner, plates. It's like your little optional steering wheel horn pull. We've got some shifters and your bumpers. Everything looks nicely done, as I would expect. Valve covers there. A little Chevrolet in them. As always with new kits, we've got glass and plastic. Everything looks good there. Let's take a look at the tires here. We'll open these. Nice crisp looking tread, as I would expect, coming from Moebius. Don't know if I'll use these or the wheels. I'll have to decide when I actually build the kit. And now, as Frank says, this is the part where when you try to put it back in the box, it becomes impossible. And one thing I usually like to do at the very beginning, I know a lot of people don't use the instructions, but what I use the instructions for initially is to get a lay of the land, because I can't tell you how many times I see somebody online ask, what's this part for? Where does this go? And I find a lot of that can be solved if you just do a quick once-over of the instructions before you get started. And Moebius has one of the nicest instructions. Color, and this way you can kind of look through and just give yourself a once-over just to see if there's anything unique or odd that sticks out. That way, when you're putting stuff together, you go, hey, I remember that. Or there's a call out on here that looks odd. That way you can look the part over on the tree and be like, oh, that's different. Like giving yourself an alternate open hood, left and right hood hinge, which is super cool. So we've got one style hood here. Be interesting if we come across the other hood, since this does come in a stock and a Restomod. So we'll see if they just give us the one or the other. And I'm not going to open the decals because I typically don't. I like to leave them in the little bag, but not many. Looks like some license plates in there. It's going to be very hard to see, so I'm not going to open them. But we've got gauges. Nothing fantastic that I need to open it with. And the body. Everything looks pretty good. I don't see any major warping. Again, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on the kit and or the subject matter. I will learn when I build the kit. That's part of why I like building models. I like to learn about the subject and the kit itself. I love cars. I'm just not going to claim to know everything about them. So one of the things that I end up doing is I let the kit kind of tell me how to build it, and I may or may not add detail depending on how I feel about the kit. These kits, however, would be one of the kits that I full on display. And what I mean by that is the detail that gets put into the kit kind of tells me how I would display it. So because we've got a lot of separate things going on here, I would probably, depending on how well I did in building it, display the bottom of the kit. And I'm assuming the same goes for the interior. So here's our hood, firewall, back seat. Here's our hood hinges. I'm trying my best to keep the glare. Also, I just remembered, don't forget, if you're in the Northern California area, I'm going to be at the SilverCon in Sacramento on May 17th. That's at the, I think it's Town and Country Lutheran Church. We got one more class added to the car portion. Ted from Radcan Shenanigans and I did. And we're trying to get this boosted so that we can get even more car classes next year. So if you're a car person, an automotive, and you're building models, please come out and hang out. I'd like to see it grow for next year. All right. And look at the engine piece. Great. Looks wonderful. I cannot wait to build one of these. The amount, like, look at that transmission. Looks like we got a couple options here. And our last bag. So looks like we only get the one hood option. So that's it. Oh, we got some floating seats. So those were our seat backs earlier. Look at the detail in the seats. There we go. Here, come here. Look at that. Super nice. I cannot wait. So as I was talking about earlier, getting inspiration, I have a very hard time deciding what I want to build next. So it either is informed by somebody else doing something that I'm like, hey, I want to build that too, or I have a spreadsheet and I literally click random and I just commit to building the next thing on the list because everything that I have, I want to build. Front, rear end, I mean, just everything's nicely molded. It just looks so good. I can't foresee myself trying to add anything to this except changing out the wheels and tires, maybe. I'll have to mock it up and just see how I feel about the wheels and tires. Other than that, everything looks so good. Now to see if we can get it back in the box. Look at that. We're not even bulging out of the top. I did it. Put it together and everything. All right. And that is an unboxing of Moebius's 1965 Chevy 2. That's a Nova Restomod. And as always, you've been great and I've been strange.